YouTube pranksters have always been a bit of a laughingstock on this site. Well, actually not just on this site, but in real life too. It's often considered the lowest of low effort content and usually just ends up being a video about annoying minimum wage workers who can't tell you to go away. But sometimes these things take a bit of a darker turn. I mean, we can't forget the YouTubers who went to jail for faking a bank robbery, right? Well, today, we're going to be talking about Tanner Cook and his YouTube channel, Classified Goons, because this guy literally got himself shot for YouTube views. Tanner Cook is one of the 2 owners of the Classified Goons YouTube channel. Before all this happened, it was a 40k subscriber channel, but it's gained 5k subscribers in the time since he got shot. It's basically a run-of-the-mill prank channel straight out of 2016, everything from fake Target employee pranks to stealing beds from mattress store pranks. Actually, that second one might just be a crime. But seriously, they're doing the age-old YouTube success trick of going out in public, making a fool of themselves, and filming it. It usually works, but chasing the clout goblins so fast can often lead you to run a little further than you should. On April 2nd, Tanner and his cameraman went to a mall in Virginia. Now, it's not confirmed what prank they decided to play on the peaceful denizens of the mall, though there are a few theories. We'll avoid those until we can know for sure. But regardless of what they were planning, I don't think they could have possibly have planned for what ended up actually happening. When playing their prank on a random man in the food court, they chose the wrong man. Whatever he said to the men was enough for the dude to decide to shoot Tanner right in the gut, otherwise known as one of the worst places to get shot because lots of vital organs and potential for infection. Luckily, it looks like he's pulled through, but the entire shooting was caught on camera and is probably locked away in some evidence locker somewhere. The shooting obviously caused a bit of panic in the mall goers, and the entire mall was evacuated and closed for the rest of the day. The police ended up arresting 31-year-old Alan Coley, who is the alleged shooter. They've charged Coley with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and discharging a firearm within a building. So basically, they're looking to put this guy behind bars for a long time. And I don't blame them. It takes an unhinged person to immediately go from being slightly annoyed by a prankster to shooting them. But no matter how unhinged this guy is, we don't yet know what exactly Tanner did as his prank before he shot him. We've seen before the fatal shooting of a prank YouTuber who charged at people with knives, and well, yeah, at that point, you've probably lost your right to complain. So it will be interesting to see what Tanner did this time to get the guy to shoot him. If he was pretending to have a weapon, this Coley guy could claim self-defense. If it was harmless, then he's gonna go to jail for a long time. Hey guys, just jumping in to remind you to subscribe. Thanks, back to the video. At the same time, there is some amount of assumed risk that you have to understand that you are taking upon yourself when you're in public filming a video and using random bystanders as your actors. Now, I'm not saying that Tanner deserved it, but man, he should have expected something bad would happen at some point. I'm not gonna tell you some BS line about how all Americans have guns. In fact, the majority of Americans have never seen a gun that's not on a police officer's hip. That's a real statistic, look it up. But regardless of how likely you are to run into armed people, you're gonna run into crazy people. Now, I've seen some reporting that says that this Coley fella might have had a pretty violent criminal record, though I'm skeptical of that since he was not charged for being a felon in possession of a firearm or illegal gun ownership. If he had been a felon, he wouldn't be able to legally possess a firearm, and he would have copped the extra charge for having it. So I think he was probably just crazy, maybe even just for that one time on that one day. We won't know until this goes to court. This kind of thing is why all of the old school prank channels that were popular back in 2016 and before faked all of their pranks. You can't control the public. It's too much of a risk. If you don't get shot then, you might just get beaten up, robbed, arrested, all manner of bad things. So it's safer and easier for everyone involved if you just hire an actor. Now, I don't know if Tanner just didn't realize the pranks were fake when he watched them as a kid, or if he just decided that he didn't want to have to pay actors. But man, was it a bad idea. It's not going to stop him though. He gave an interview to CBS News where he said, "I was playing a prank for a simple practical joke and this guy didn't take it very well." And then he went on to tell them that he wasn't going to stop making videos, probably because he got 5k free subscribers from this stunt. I don't think he realizes what kind of a hard road to recovery he's going to be on though. Speaking from experience, when you have a major health issue and you're young, you think you're invincible until you find out the hard way that you're not. I'll pray for his fast recovery, but if he just goes out and does this again, next time it might be worse. In these kinds of situations, it's usually best to quit when you're ahead. Case in point, there have been at least 2 YouTubers who were shot and died as a result of prank videos. Probably more to be honest, but 2 that were very public. The first was the one that I mentioned earlier. A YouTuber named Timothy Wilkes, who was only 20 years old, was shot in the parking lot to a trampoline park back in February 2021. His prank had involved approaching random strangers with large butcher knives. He approached the wrong car and, well, the rest is history. In that case, since he had been approaching with big knives, the cops didn't even arrest or charge the shooter with anything. I mean, why would they? He thought they were gonna hurt him. That's the most basic basic use of self-defense I could possibly describe. And it also demonstrates my point perfectly. When you're messing with random strangers like this, what to you seems like a small prank can, to them, seem like a life or death situation. It's dangerous to put people in that frame of mind. The second shooting death related to a YouTube video was also tragic, stupid, and pointless. A woman named Mona Lisa Perez, just 20 years old, and her boyfriend Pedro Ruiz, 22, decided to try a stunt/prank where Pedro held an encyclopedia in front of his chest and Mona Lisa shoots him with a pistol. Even if they hadn't decided to use a .50 caliber Desert Eagle for the stunt, I think you know how it would have gone. Bullet beats paper every time. It went straight through the book and killed him. Tragically, Mona Lisa was not only the mother to his child, but was pregnant with another one of his children at the time. I don't know why they didn't expect the obvious to happen, but it's tragic nonetheless. Mona Lisa ended up getting jail time for her part in the stunt. The fact of the matter is that I don't really care how badly you want YouTube fame. It's not worth your life. It's not worth other people's lives. And it's certainly not worth your soul. Grind hard to get where you want to go, but don't endanger yourself. I think the scariest thing about this whole story is that Tanner didn't seem to be off-put by what happened. Instead, he seemed emboldened by it. Usually, that ends with him going back and trying to up the ante. I don't know what he would have to do to one-up getting shot while filming a prank video, but I can tell you that whatever it is, it's not going to be good for anyone involved. Tanner, if you ever see this, start faking your videos, please. That's the only way to make things get crazier in a safer way. Also, a bit of a side note here, but isn't it like really inconvenient to do these kinds of pranks that get you banned from stores and malls? Like after a while, when you get banned from all the Targets, where do you go? Not just for the pranks, but for like food too. Walmart? Too bad you filmed that intercom prank there. The supermarket? Kicked out for racing in carriages. It just seems annoying. At what point do you have to move because you've been such a menace that you can't buy food anymore? I just don't get the appeal. That aside, I do wish Tanner well and hope that he comes to his senses soon. We really don't need another headline. Just chill out for a bit and go back to some simpler videos until you have time to hire some actors. Because if you do go right back to it and end up in another dangerous situation because of it, I might still feel bad for you, but I won't have sympathy for you. At this point, you should have learned your lesson. The age-old rule, fuck around and find out, or my favorite, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, both apply here. Please pick one of them and keep it in mind. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. What do you think about this entire situation? Let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day and God bless you.